Kaiser, and this is my daughter. What's
Julia
your
Kaiser.
We're here at Bordewick Bray. We're going to be reading one of my favorite books and Julia's book that she's reading right now called
Because of Winn-Dixie.
Okay. So, she's just going to read a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about the book. So, Julia, will you start?
Okay.
And one thing, this is the beginning of this book, Because of Winn-Dixie. And so Julia's just going to start the book. She's actually already read a little bit of it, but we're going to go back over one part. So, go ahead. We're just going to pretend she's reading for her SFA homework. Go ahead, Julia.
Chapter 1. My name is Opal Indiana Berloni. And last summer, my daddy, the preacher, sent me up to the store for a box of macaroni and cheese, some white rice, and 2 tomatoes, and I came back with a dog. This is what happened. I walked into the produce section of the Winn-Dixie grocery store to pick out my 2 tomatoes and also bumped right into the store manager.
Okay.
What's produce mean?
Produce, right.
Produce.
Because you said that word a little wrong, and when you look at it, it says the produce section. What do you think the produce section? Think about going to the grocery store, and it says right here, there's vegetables, tomatoes. What do you think the produce section is?
Where you, maybe
Get what?
get the vegetables.
Excellent. So one of the things you can do when you're reading with your kids is, of course, ask them about words they might not know, or ask them about words that they are not sure what they mean. And so we're going to read one more part and talk a little bit about the name of the dog. So go ahead, Julia.
He was standing there all red-faced, screaming and waving his hands around. "Who let a dog in here?" he kept on shouting. "Who let a dirty, dirty dog in here?" At first, I didn't see a dog. There were just a lot of vegetables rolling around on the floor, tomatoes and onions and green peppers. And there was what seemed like a whole army of Winn-Dixie employees running around waving their arms just the same way the store manager was waving his. And then the dog came running around the corner. He was a big dog and ugly, and he looked like he was having a real good time. His tongue was hanging out and he was wagging his tail. He skidded to a stop and smiled right at me. I had never before in my life seen a dog smile, but that is what he did. He pulled back his lips and showed me all his teeth. Then he wagged his tail so hard that he knocked down some oranges off display, and then they went rolling everywhere, mixing in with the tomatoes and onions and green bell peppers. Mom, thank you for helping me with the SFA.
Oh, great. Well, one of the things, because as we went on in the book, we would find out what does Opal finally name the dog. When the store manager says, "Whose dog is this?" What does she say?
It's mine.
And what does she name him?
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie. So, if we were really reading for about 20 minutes, we would talk about why did they name the dog Winn-Dixie.
Well, yeah. And what
Why
I
did
think
they?
is going to happen. Well, she named him probably Winn-Dixie because she got him at the store running Winn-Dixie, and it probably reminded her of where he got him.
And what about when you picked out your cat? Why did you name your cat Sparkle?
Sparkle. Well, I had already picked out the name, and also he has a really sparkly attitude.
He has a sparkly attitude, and when did you get him?
I got him last December.
Which is, of course, Christmas, which we
Christmas.
think of
Sparkles.
sparkling and lights.
Yeah.
And so whenever you're reading with your kids, talk about words.
And what you named your cat.
Oh,
You got it from a
yes,
book.
I named my cat Runt when I was Julia's age because of Charlotte's Web, and he was the runt of the litter. So it's really natural. Chat with your kids at home about the books they're reading, and if you haven't read this book, for sure read Because of Winn-Dixie. And I just want to close with our goal at Bordewick Bray, From Reading into the Wild. It says, "Wild readers chime in. I take a book everywhere, in the car, to sporting events, even to the grocery store. You never know when you're going to get a free minute to read. I take a book everywhere with me. I tell my daughter I will never be lonely because I love to read."
Because I always live with it by my bed.
Yes, and I'm not going to finish the whole poem, but that poem reminded me of you because of what? What do you always do?
I bring a book to dance. I bring a book, on the end of my bed when I'm going to bed.
Yes. So our goal at Bordewick Bray is for you to love books, and we want you to bring a book everywhere, always be reading, not say, is my 20 minutes up, but instead say, can I read for 20 more minutes, for 30 more minutes? So, happy reading. Signing off from Bordewick Bray.